The Six Railfans. Adventure on the Cog Railway. A sequel to The Six Railfans. One warm summer morning, Sleuth stretched beneath the old railroad bridge. "I've heard about a train," he said. "One that climbs a mountain." Scout's ears perked up. "A mountain?" "The highest peak in the northeast," Sleuth replied. Smuckers grinned. "Well, what are we waiting for?" Within minutes, the six friends packed their little bags and headed for New Hampshire. After a long drive through winding roads and tall forests, the friends arrived in Breton Woods. The White Mountains rose above them, their peaks disappearing into the clouds. "There it is," whispered Spice. Stella looked toward the summit. "I've never seen mountains this big." Cinders quietly listened. Far away, a whistle echoed through the valley. The six friends hurried to the station. Waiting on the tracks was something unlike any train they had ever seen. A small black steam locomotive pushed bright red passenger coaches. "It pushes the train uphill," Scout exclaimed. "The track has teeth," said Sleuth, "and the engine climbs them like a ladder." Smuckers couldn't stop smiling. "I already love this place." With a blast of the whistle, the little locomotive began its climb. Higher, higher, and higher still. The valley slowly disappeared below them. Steam drifted across the mountainside while the engine worked steadily up the steep grade. Even Cinders couldn't look away. Soon they were surrounded by endless mountain peaks. Clouds floated beneath the train. "It feels like we're riding through the sky," Spice whispered. Stella simply smiled. "This is different from Big Boy, but just as amazing." At last, the train reached the summit of Mount Washington. The wind blew across the rocky peak. The six friends gathered beside the famous summit sign. "We made it," cheered Smuckers. Scout carefully read every historical marker, while Sleuth quietly admired the view. The friends wandered through the visitor center. They learned about the Cog Railway, the mountain's famous weather, and the brave crews who had climbed these slopes for more than a century. Cinders listened to every story. Spice counted the old photographs. Stella found the biggest window and watched another train begin its climb. Before leaving, the conductor invited the six Railfans to pose beside the locomotive. The engineer tipped his cap. "Come back any time." The whistle sounded one last time. Smuckers proudly raised a paw. Every camera clicked. It became another unforgettable railroad memory. The ride back down the mountain was peaceful. Golden sunlight stretched across the valleys. The forest glowed below. The six friends sat quietly together, enjoying every mile. Sometimes the best adventures needed no words. That evening, the six friends watched the sun set over the White Mountains. Sleuth smiled. "We'll always love Big Boy," Scout nodded. "But every railroad has its own story. And every adventure," Smuckers added, "is better when your best friends are along for the ride." The six Railfans sat together until the last light faded from the sky, already wondering where the rails would lead them next. The end, or perhaps just the beginning of another adventure.